This is all about what's happening at Una Elementary School. We were told at this point that this threat happened just 2 days ago, and they're just now making it public. Metro Nashville Public Schools telling us that this threat was from an elementary school student. They found a search, as you see on the bottom of your screen, troubling information on this school computer. And I want to read it to you directly. It was, the student was researching how much ammunition would be needed to kill everyone at the school except for one person. So let me pull up again this web story that we've got up. The school system is saying that the student is not at the school while this investigation is underway. No disciplinary findings have been made yet. And I want to also give you this very specific statement that the student has not been at the school. Again, at this time, no disciplinary findings have been made, but the investigation and review has been going on since Wednesday. And we were outside of the school today. We were speaking with different teachers, different staff members, and anyone who would just speak to our reporter, our Brendan Tierney, who's covering this for us today. And he has told us that teachers there at Una Elementary are telling him off camera they're scared for their safety because of this troubling information that was found on the school computer. And we did ask Metro Schools for more information. We're told that they cannot comment right now, but we do know about their discipline system. And I want to get you up to speed on that right now, because we're told it's a tiered system for discipline. And it says that an elementary school student can only be suspended up to 2 days for making threats. And essentially this was a school threat. This was first brought to light on Wednesday. Now today, at this point of recording, it is Friday, so that would constitute those 2 days possibly for that disciplinary threat. But they also are telling us that a student can be expelled for something as simple as having vapes. And again, this is happening at an elementary school, so you can imagine that there's a lot that's going to go into this investigation. And the Metro Schools handbook, which we had our hands on tonight, says if a student makes a threat without a plan to carry it out, they only face 1 day of in-school suspension. And after the tragedy at Covenant Schools, we all know at the end of March, Metro Schools would not say if it's considering changes to its student behavior policy to begin treatment threats with that zero tolerance. If we can, I want to take a quick moment and bring Brendan Tierney up. Brendan, I'm going to hand you the mic. This is live TV, folks. This is how this happens. I'm getting Brendan mic'd up right now. Brendan, just one quick moment. Let's adjust our cameras, and I'm going to bring you on camera in just a quick second. You are taller than me, so I've got to adjust for that. Okay, so I'm bringing Brendan here. Something that struck me in your coverage today, you were able to speak to people who were, I assume, outside of the school. What were you hearing from them? Are they scared about what's happening at Una Elementary?
Definitely. In fact, we have some parents that have called our newsroom just within the past half hour or so saying they didn't know about this threat that Metro Schools says they learned about on Wednesday until today.
Wow.
And they're now concerned about their student safety after all this happening. What really stuck out to me especially was my conversation with a couple of teachers over the phone today who were saying that they're concerned that the policies in place are not strong enough to protect people and protect their classrooms, especially when you look at those kind of maximums for suspensions.
Well, and which is it a 5-day maximum suspension
So
or
that's the thing. It depends on what grade someone's in. So an elementary school student can actually only be suspended for 2 days for a threat like this, and they can't be expelled at all.
Really? So zero expulsion for elementary school students and
for making threats in this case. There is a list of other things that you can be expelled for at least a year, I should say. Wow. But yeah, elementary school students for making threats, they have 2 different categories of threats, but they cannot be expelled for it.
I'm curious if you've heard anything up to this point about the age of the student involved.
We have not heard that. Metro Schools, in fact, they can't confirm any details about the exact threat, what all is going on with it, because in their words, it's still an ongoing investigation. They're working with their law enforcement partners, their school security officers to make sure that everything is properly being processed right now, and they're able to understand everything and exactly what that threat could be. Once that is done, Metro Schools says they will issue a disciplinary ruling. So at that point, they would officially suspend a student or issue some sort of other disciplinary action. But at this time, technically, there's been no discipline taken.
I am interested too in this idea of, like, if there's only 2 days suspension and they found it on Wednesday, do yesterday and today constitute that 2-day suspension potentially for this child?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how that all works. The Metro Schools handbook on all of this is very complex, as you can
Yeah.
imagine. It's hundreds and hundreds of pages outlining exactly what each category is, and it makes very clear the difference between the two types of threats comes down to if the student actually had a plan to possibly carry something out. If they do go forward with some sort of incident, that levels it up to another incident level, and that's where using a firearm and bringing that to school, explosives or anything like that, an elementary school student can even be expelled for stuff like that.
I mean, at this point, you have to take it seriously, right? I mean, we are in a situation in this city where we just lived through the Covenant School shooting at the end of March. School districts have to have a zero tolerance policy at this point. They have to take this stuff very seriously.
Very seriously, and it's something that's on so many people's minds, is just making sure that their kiddos are safe when they drop them off at school in the morning. And when you hear something like this that could be possibly happening, you're glad it was caught and found, but you want to make sure that it will be handled properly.
Right.
That's the big thing I've been hearing from people.
Well, so Brendan's going to join me just in minutes from now at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. We're going to go through all of this for you in our newscast. For now, Brendan, thank you for your coverage today. We're looking forward to seeing that story. We'll see you guys on air very soon.